Yo, what is up, everybody? And today we are back on the channel with another Titans Connected franchise Madden video. And today we have the Titans traveling to Houston, Texas to take on the division rival Texans as the Titans come off a good win, getting back in the win column. Actually, not even just a good win, an amazing win over their other division rivals, the Colts, in a 41 to 14 blowout. Which at first the it wasn't looking like the best game for the Titans offense. Looked like it was going to be a repeat of the Rams game, but as it went on and on, defense started showing up. We got two major pick sixes. We really got one that gave us all the momentum, and then the second one kind of really just put the game away. Then the offense at first, we punted on that first drive. I believe it was actually a three and out, and then all of a sudden we start locking in. We score on our second drive, and that just carries over, and we just keep scoring, and we got a good dub. So this week we are looking to do that again against the Texans, and this is going to be like the Rams game. And if we struggled the way we did against the Rams, then I am just wondering what it is going to be like against the Texans. Because if you remember, like I said, when we played the Rams, the Texans beat the Rams in an absolute shootout. It went to overtime. The score was 59 to 58. So if we cannot get this offense going and it looks the way it did against the Rams, same thing with the defense. If this defense offense, if the whole team looks the way we did against the Rams, then we will leave Houston going back to Tennessee with the same outcome as what happened against the Rams. Blown out, morale down, and everything. But as we look here at the Texans X Factors, we are looking to get into it with a 1 o'clock kickoff. Not really prime time football. They should be putting this in prime time. But here we go. We are about to get underway from Houston as the Titans are going to be receiving the ball first. That is Tommy Townsend with the kickoff, and he is going to send it out of the back of that zone. Just no chance on that one as first and 10 Titans and the single back looking to dial up probably a signature play. We start every game the same with a Tony Pollard handoff up the middle and not working at all. And that is another thing we need to figure out this run game sooner or later because it is not working for us early in these games when we need it as Cam Ward is looking deep and it's picked off by Derek Stingley Jr. on the first pass of the game for Cam Ward as Derek Stingley breaks a couple tackles. And man, oh man, this is the opposite of what I said we had to do. We had to get this offense up and running as Joe Mixon gets a nice 5-yard gain, but the offense is down and spouted as the Texans are in the I form formation here, handing it off on a stretch to Joe Mixon. Jukes back to inside, cutting back outside, and Joe Mixon is going to have a touchdown for the Texans on his second handoff, second play of scrimmage. And we have done the complete opposite of what I said needed to be done. This our offense comes out, we throw a pick on the second play of the drive, and then the Texans get the ball and score on their second play of the drive. Complete opposite as of ours, as you see Derek Stingley is lit up now, and once again we tried to hand it off to Tony Pollard as Cam Ward is almost sacked there by Daniil Hunter. You see these two superstar edge rushers. That's third and 10 here. Cam Ward has to pass, is looking for somebody, fits it in the window to Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley has space. Calvin Ridley has the speed, and he is going to go all the way. And maybe this isn't going to go like the Rams because that is exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed to find ourselves back in it. And now we just need a good defensive drive, and we can say we might have a chance in this one as Jalen Noel takes it out of the back of the end zone, almost gets a gap there, a little bit more speed, and he would have had a touchdown, and it would have been bad for us as CJ Stroud on first and 10 play action, rolling out of the pocket, rolling right, looking for Joe Mixon, but it is just far right. even if he did get that pass to Joe Mixon, it's like what, maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain at most. As on 2nd and 10 here, C.J. Stroud hands it off to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is getting in it early, but it does not go anywhere. As 3rd and 10, C.J. Stroud looking to pass, looking for somebody, anybody, going deep for Nico Collins, but it is just a little bit too far. As 4th and 10 here, Tommy Townsend looking to punt it away to not Alec Onumire, Kimere Diki. As Kimere Diki is going to get a little bit of a return here, gets it up to the 26-yard line. As 1st and 10, the Titans in the pistol formation, handing it off to Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard fumbles the ball. And oh my goodness, man, it was picked up there by, I believe that was, I cannot pronounce his name. I don't know why I tried it, as CJ Stroud gets it in, but I believe that was Bolo Runso Fatutski. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hard one to pronounce. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I believe that's who it was who picked the ball up. As 1st and goal here, already at the 8 off the Tony Pollard fumble. CJ Stroud on the RPO for Tank Dell, and Tank Dell, man oh man, got some good blocks there, as he is able to easily, probably could have walked in there for 6, as the kick by Kaimi Fairbairn is up and good here. And once again, we have shot ourselves in the foot. Tony Pollard with the fumble. We could have been up 14-7 right now, possibly, but with the fumble, Texans find themselves good field position, and now we're down 14-7 as we get it to Gunnar Helm on his drag route there. 2nd and 5, looking in the pistol formation. Cam Ward changing up the play clock under 10. He hands it to Tony Pollard on the halfback dive. He is fighting for yards, and it did not look like he got there, but the refs say otherwise. 1st and 10 now. Cam Ward dropping back to pass, gets it to Gunnar Helm again, who this time the refs judged correctly, and it is 2nd and inches here. As out of the I form, we hand it off to Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard tries his best but cannot get there. 5 rushes for 3 yards, and this run game, I don't know how to improve it, as Cam Ward almost throws a pick there, but it is just zipped over the head of Aziz Al-Shaair for the first down, caught by Alec Onumar, who tried to make a couple of moves, as Tony Pollard on the halfback counter gets some good blocks, and Tony Pollard is going to be taken down at the 6-yard line by Kaimir. Let me slow down and pronounce yeah, never mind. As Cam Ward going for the end zone for Tony, and not Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. His first touch of the season is going to be a touchdown reception. And I'm sorry, Kamari Lassiter. I believe that is how you pronounce it. And these pronunciations are getting the best of me this season. First, from calling Alec Onumire, Eric Onumire, and I believe I'm getting it down that it's actually Alec instead of Eric, as Cody Barton almost picks off the Joe Mixon pass. It's really deflected there at 2nd and 10. CJ Stroud looking for the screen pass, but just pressured, not able to get it off fast enough, as the first quarter is coming to a close here. 20 seconds left. 3rd and 10. CJ Stroud looking for somebody, gets Joe Mixon out of the backfield. He jukes backwards, and he's blown up by Cody Barton. And if you are wondering why the Texans aren't going for just a little update on the rules, it is now, if Joe Mixon didn't juke back, I would be expecting the Texans to go for it, as Tommy Townsend sends it out of the back of the end zone. I would be expecting them to go for it, but the rules say you have to be at 4th and 2 from your own 35 or further, and that one was 4th and 3. So the Texans will just take the punt there to the Titans, as Tony Pollard breaks a tackle on the screen pass, and Tony Pollard gets taken down by Derek Stingley after about 13, 14-yard gain there, as play clock winding down. We had an amazing first quarter, 14-14, and that is not Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard on the run there for about a gain of 15, as 1st and 10, play action here. Cam Ward has some time. Icons disappear, going deep for Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley adjusts himself and makes the grab, and Derek Stingley just standing there thinking the play is over. Now, Man, oh man, that possibly could have been a touchdown if we didn't rat catch it. As first and 10 here, Cam Ward takes it on the read option. Will Anderson Jr. is there to put that to a stop. No gain, no loss there at second and 10. Cam Ward looking to pass it, gets it underneath to Alec Anyumeyer, who gets the first. No, they say he was short a yard here as on the 4 yard line. No quarterback for the Titans. This is Tony Pollard in the backfield. Tony Pollard takes the handoff, but is stopped there 2 yards short of the end zone by Tim Settle Jr. as two men in motion here, and we trying to toss it to Tony Pollard, but Danielle Hunter says, mm-mm-mm. The 5 yard loss on that play at second and goal. Cam Ward looking to pass it here, zips it in the window for Kima Ray Dyke. And man, oh man, that was a dangerous pass there. Cam Ward once again zipping it through. Almost picked off by the Texans there, but the linebacker just a little bit too slow on the reaction. But again, a good throw. And right there, as Jalen Noel has a little bit of a hold, we actually tried to high pass it there because I did also think that it was going to be picked off by the linebacker if we did not high pass it. As CJ Stroud picks it, puts his hands in the cookie jar, and it is picked off by the man who had a pick six last week, Cedric Gray. But like I was saying earlier, we tried to high pass it. Cam Ward does not do that as we get it to Calvin Ridley over the middle, tries to make a juke back inside, but it does not fool anybody. Kamari Lassiter or Kalen Bullock joined up for the tackle there as Tony Pollard gets blown up there by Henry Toe. I think that's how Henry Toe. As Cam Ward looking to pass it here, gets it to Calvin Ridley, who is going to be in for the touchdown, and the Titans take a 28 to 14 lead. And just like that, this offense has locked in. Aziz Al Shire kind of had to pick his poison there. You had the drag route, and then you had the in route coming. Just had to pick his poison. It was not going to work out either way. It's Calvin Ridley, he's having himself a game, usually dropping some key passes for us in the last two as CJ Stroud dots it in there to Joe Mixon on the sidelines. That was an unbelievable throw and a more unbelievable catch there as Joe Mixon makes a juke back inside and he is taken down by, I believe that was Kevin Winston Jr., who saved a potential touchdown. And CJ Stroud now dots it back in for the first down and 11-yard gain. Almost picked off there if Cody Barton kept running for it as Tank Dell on the reception cuts back inside as the Titans use their first timeout, trying to score maybe before halftime as Joe Mixon just did not stand a chance there. Cody Barton ran right through the gap, and it is now second and 13. Texans do not call a timeout. CJ Stroud is almost picked off by, I believe that was Jeffrey Simmons there, and he was hit as he threw it there. As C.J. Stroud now on third and 13 gets it to Nico Collins, who somehow hangs on and breaks a couple tackles, and is now fourth and 7 from the 10-yard line. Titans call another timeout, and Kaimi Fairbairn's kick is going to be up and good to decrease the lead to 11. As Tommy Townsend here is kicking it out of the back of the end zone again, not letting the Titans have a chance to return it here as 5 wide, 15 seconds left, trying to see what we can do. Maybe get a chance for three here as Cam Ward looking deep for Alec Anyumeyer, who burns his man off the line of scrimmage, and Alec Anyumeyer is going to take it 65 yards to the house. My goodness, we were looking for three and we got seven as Alec Onyemeyer absolutely torched Jalen Petrie off the line of scrimmage there as Jalen Noel is looking to take it out of the back of the end zone or out of the front of the end zone. And he gets it to about the 37-yard line. The Texans are just going to play it a little bit safe here, a little conservative as they hand it off to Joe Mixon, who only gets a gain of two. And I'm sorry if I'm like like non-consistent in my speech. My throat is like really dry right now, and I can feel a little sickness coming up. So sorry if I sound like a little inconsistent with my speech. As Jalen Noel finally gets the hole he needs. Pause. Pause. Sorry. Jalen Noel finally finds the pause. Jalen Noel finally finds what he was looking for. Has the speed, and he is going to take it 98 yards, I believe, all the way to the crib on the first play of scrimmage out of the half. And he pays back the Titans for that Alec Anumar touchdown right before the half, as now the Titans will see their first play from scrimmage here as they get it underneath to Chigaziam Okonkwo, who makes a good move, puts his man that I believe that was Jimmy Ward here there that got put on skates as is now Chigaziam Okonkwo in motion. We hand it off to Tony Pollard up the middle, but it is a good tackle by Kalen Bullock for a 5 yard gain. Second and 5 here. We're looking to hand it off to Tony Pollard, who has nothing, only about a 1 yard gain as the play clock is winding down. Third and four, Cam Ward looking to change the play. It's an RPO here. Cam Ward keeps the ball. Cam Ward has some space. It's a back juke, and he has the first down and a little bit more. And I did not mean to do that back juke. I actually meant to slide there. I don't know how a back juke got used as Cam Ward throws it a little too high for Calvin Ridley, who could not hang on there. But I did not mean to do that back juke. That kind of just happened as Tony Pollard had himself a hole, but left there for no apparent reason. And also with that play, I thought we were going to get tackled in the backfield there by Jimmy Ward. I was not expecting him to run backwards as Cam Ward fitting it into Calvin Ridley, who hangs on. Kamari Lassiter in the coverage just could not keep up, and Calvin Ridley is having himself a legacy game here as Tony Pollard is taking it up the middle, breaks a tackle, and is in for the touchdown to give the Titans a 42 to 24 lead in a game the Titans are kind of running away with, but the Texans are finding a way to keep themselves in it here. As you see, Joey Slye just sends it out of the back of the end zone, not going to risk another kickoff return as CJ Stroud sent his running back in motion but gets it underneath on the whip route for a 2 yard gain. Second and 8 here. 4:20 left in the third quarter. The Texans run a RPO. They hand it off to Joe Mixon, but is taken down for a loss of third and 10 here. Back in the 5 wide, Joe Mixon, the man in motion. CJ Stroud has time. CJ Stroud has a man that is a tight end, Dalton Schultz, and he found his way open. And that was an amazing pocket from the Texans there. There was no pressure at all as CJ Stroud gets it underneath to Nico Collins for a gain of 8. Second and 2, play clock winding down. CJ Stroud looking to pass it again. Has some time running out, and Nico Collins, he had the first down, an easy first down, but he just did not make an attempt on the ball for some reason. As third and 2, CJ Stroud there, a little bit of a dangerous pass, not in the fact that it could have been intercepted, but just a dangerous pass as Joe Mixon finds himself a gap right up Broadway, gets it to the 2 yard line. First and goal. Joe Mixon is lit up. Play clock winding down. Almost a minute left in the third quarter, and Joe Mixon is in for the touchdown, and the Texans are clawing this way slowly back in it. And Jeffrey Simmons, he did something that Grover Stewart did last week. He just destroyed the center, but somehow got stuck in the animation, just does not make a play on the ball when we had an easy tackle for loss there. As Tommy Townsend once again sends it out of the back of the end zone as Tony Pollard takes it on a handoff up the middle, gets a gain of 4, under a minute left, now under 40 seconds left as the play clock winding down. A man in motion there. Cam Ward looking to pass it out of the 5 wide, going for Calvin Ridley on the sidelines, but it is just too far out, and maybe we are lucky that it was too far out because it might have been intercepted, but at least broken up there as Cam Ward looking deep for Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley makes the catch, and Calvin Ridley is into the end zone. He burnt Kamari Lassiter, and Calvin Ridley, have yourself a game there, now over 200 yards receiving. I believe that is his third touchdown on the day. As right here, that is Johnny Ecker to kick the ball off, and he keeps it in play. Jalen Noel had a kickoff return touchdown earlier, but unfortunately, with this play, a Texans user actually told me after that Calvin Ridley touchdown that he was going to quit the game. He was done. He was like, I'm getting a little BS by Madden. But yeah, fortunately, once again, we have a game where the user doesn't stay all the way to the end. And if you guys were wondering, there is a rule as look at Cam Ward's stats there: 6 touchdowns, 366 yards on 15 for 19. But there's a rule in the league where users can quit the game, but both users have to be in agreement that you can quit. And look at the stats for Calvin Ridley: 6 receptions, 214 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What a legacy game! As before this game, I was thinking of trading him. He had all those drops, but this game he really stepped up. But going back to what I said, I'm getting a little off topic. There is a rule where you can't quit unless both users agree, and the guy was like, "Oh, I want to quit," and I was like, "You know what? It's fine by me. I'm not gonna look like an a-hole and say you can't quit the game when you're losing. I mean, it's fine with me. I mean, it cuts the content a little bit short, but game was still about 20 minutes, and usually it's about what is it like 25 to 26 minutes. So it's okay for me. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna be an a-hole and tell you can't quit the game if you feel like you're getting BS'd or something. Just gonna keep it chill, not create any problems with anybody now. But if we're in the situation where there is a death story on the line and I'm looking to get the death story now in that situation, I'm going to tell you no, unfortunately. And also, if there's a situation where somebody decides that they want to quit a game after halftime, for the channel's sake, I'm going to make the video longer than usual. So I'm going to include the first half of that game and then another full game just for your guys' sake so you don't cut the content too short. But next week we are looking to travel to Glendale, Arizona, I believe, to take on the Arizona Cardinals, who at the time of making this video they are still undefeated. They're one of three teams left in the league that are undefeated at 3-0. And I do not know if they've actually, at the time of this video, I don't think they have played this game. So hopefully they are actually win their game to go 4-0, so we can try to see if we can take down one of the undefeateds. But I'm looking to get that video out maybe tomorrow, Sunday at the earliest. Sunday probably at the latest, depending on when we actually play the game. But other than that, that is going to be it for me in the video as we have some highlights playing. I hope you guys enjoy. Please recommend this channel to your friends, maybe some guys that are interested in Madden. But like I said, that's going to be it for me. Drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment for any recommendations. But other than that, stay safe in the snowstorm. But peace.